Welcome, I made the best chess engine there's ever been played against itself, Stockfish 16, and I gave Stockfish 12 hours of thinking time and I made it to the Cant Castle, as you can see. And this is how the game went. Started with knight f3, there we go, knight f3, we have c5, c4, d5, d4. So a lot of pawn pushes right away, fighting in the center. We have king back to e8, putting the king on a more safe square, trying to get the bishop as well, I suppose. I have g3, which is an inaccuracy already apparently. You have b6, which also is an inaccuracy. Stockfish was supposed to take this pawn, apparently. But I don't know why. It's probably pretty irrelevant. We have takes, and knight c3. We have knight f6, and bishop g2. We have knight c6, h4, a very stockfish-ish move, just taking some space on the king side. We have bishop g4 pinning the king, and rook e1, looking to manually castle the king, I assume. We have queen d7, and yeah, manually castling the king, king f1, we have rook d8, we have takes, bishop, and a3. We have a5, and queen a4. So far, white has a very slight advantage at 0.27. We have king f1, manually castling the king as well, I guess. We have king g1, continuing the castle. We have h5, knight h2, attacking the bishop, and queen e6. That's a pretty weird move that I don't understand, but I guess it's a decent move. Takes your pawn, because if you take with queen here, which some might think, then you would just lose your knight. So that's not good, not ideal. Pawn takes, and b4, sacrificing a pawn. It looks like, because takes. But no, Stockfish instead goes knight e2, doesn't even take back the pawn. And the idea was to sacrifice this pawn to get the knight rerouted to f4, attacking the queen, and this is a very nice square for the knight. Okay, queen back to c8, and now the pawn is taken. Knight d5, a great move. Now white is actually down a pawn, although their advantage is even bigger than before at 0.4. But knight e5 was played, great move. We have queen back to d1. We have bishop takes, which was an inaccuracy. Rook takes back. King g8, putting the king on a more safe square. We have rook b3, attacking the pawn, defending the pawn. Queen b1, putting some more pressure on the pawn, attacking it. And queen d8, defending it. We have queen a1, attacking this dude over here, this knight. Knight went back to g6, and we have knight takes, pawn takes, and now black's pawns are doubled up. We have rook b4, we have king h7, we have rook f4, and rook e8. This king is very well placed now. It has no pawns in front of it that covers it, but it's really hard to get an attack going on the king, since these two pawns and all these pieces is in close proximity of the king. So the king is fairly safe. We have rook d1, we have queen c7, queen b1, and king h6. I guess the purpose of this move is having the king being one square closer to the center, anticipating it's being better placed in an endgame. We have rook fd4, rook e5, and queen b4. Queen c5 offering the trade, but Stockfish 16 obviously doesn't take. Just taking this would be a death sentence, pretty much. Not really, but these two pawns looks very scary. According to the valuation, this isn't even better. But okay, fair enough, it just looks very scary. But instead we have queen d2, we have queen a5 offering the trade, and Stockfish with white is not wanting the trade. Queen c5, yet again insisting on a trade, but nah, queen d2, we have queen a5, just another trade request. Rook b4, we have king h7, going back with the king. Now I don't understand what's going on at all, but it's the best move. We have queen b2, rook c6, and rook b5 attacking the queen, and now counter attacking the queen. So if you take now, of course, then this queen will be taken, and this is actually a passed pawn that's going to try to storm down the board and make a queen. So instead we have queen b3, we have rook c6, yet again same thing. We have queen b1 and queen a3. We have rook b4 and rook c2. The point is, this is a very weird best move, but the point is if you take, then this rook will be lost. So it's just a trade. But instead, rook takes c4 was played, taking this pawn as an in-between move. Now if you take, now this rook will be taken, and white has actually just won a pawn by sacrificing the rook for this pawn. But instead, queen c3 was played, and now rook f4 was played. Now this rook isn't under attack anymore, and white has just won a clean pawn. We have rook f5, takes, and bishop f3. We have d4, and queen takes pawn, takes with queen, takes, and takes. So yeah, now g6 is played. So this is just a pretty much completely draws endgame, as one would expect from two master computers. Perfect chess always ends up in a draw, as we all know. Rook c1 there, king g7, rook offering a trade, nope. Check, king there, check, rook there, there, and e4 played. Rook e1 not taking, instead, okay, takes, and g4. So yeah, this is just a completely drawing king and pawn endgames. And Stockfish 16 obviously know how to draw this. Yeah. Not even taking the pawn here, just going king h7. That's kind of a savage move. King f5 now takes, and it's a draw. So Stockfish 16 manages to draw itself in a 16-hour game. Yeah, that was probably one of the most expected outcomes, I guess. The accuracy of the game was 98.7 for white and 98.7 for black, so both played equally as good. Maybe if I make another video about this, which I probably will, making them play a 12-hour game, I maybe make them play a more imbalanced position, so have them play an even more interesting game. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe. Peace out.